I'm going to show you how and why you should sharpen your charcoal pencils to a long tapered point like this. When you first buy charcoal pencils, most of them come pre-sharpened to a shallow point like this. And this might be useful if you want a very sharp point. But if you're looking to use the side of the pencil for shading, it's actually quite limiting. Whereas if I sharpen my pencil to a very long taper, I'm able to get a very fine point, and I'm also able to have more surface for better shading. Charcoal pencil sets will sometimes come with a sharpener, but these aren't ideal for charcoal, which is very soft and prone to breaking. Watch what happens when I try to sharpen this charcoal pencil. You can see here that although it's sharpening the pencil, the tip keeps breaking off. To sharpen charcoal pencils properly, it helps to have a utility knife or just a straight edge razor. I prefer to use the utility knife, which can also be called a craft knife or an X-Acto knife. I start by holding the pencil in my non-dominant hand. Since I'm right-handed, I hold the pencil in my left hand, and I then hold the utility knife in my right hand. To begin carving, I'm going to use my thumb to push the blade. This gives it a bit more stability. Meanwhile, with my left hand, I'm going to gently turn the pencil as I carve. One other thing to remember is that I'm going to be carving almost parallel to the surface of the pencil. I don't want to gouge into the pencil because I risk breaking the tip. So from the side, it's going to look like this. As I turn the pencil, I am carving into the wood. And you can see that I'm using my thumb to push the blade. And then I continue this process, turning the pencil each time I carve a piece of the wood. Eventually, enough of the wood will carve away where I will see the charcoal pencil underneath. And when it gets to this stage, you just want to go very carefully and gently and make sure that your blade is as parallel to the charcoal as possible. Here you can see some of the glue that holds the charcoal to the wood, and you can just gently remove that with your knife as well. When you've removed enough of the wood, it's time to shape the charcoal. First, I take all of the wood shavings and set those aside. If you'd like, you can use those wood shavings as kindling for a fire. To sharpen the pencil, you want to use some type of a sanding block. These two are made specifically for charcoal, but you can use any type of a fine sandpaper. Let's use this one. I'm essentially going to apply light pressure. Notice that I'm turning the pencil as I do this. I continue applying light pressure until it gets to the desired point. You will have a lot of charcoal on your sandpaper, and I like to collect that on a sheet of paper, and then continue with the sanding. Continue sanding until you have a nice beveled side and a pointed tip. You can then collect the charcoal powder in an empty glass jar. You can later use this with a paintbrush to achieve some very nice light values. And that's it.